Welcome. I'm Bob Bockelman, your host. We're doing a series of PSAs, we're calling them, to inform the potential watchers or viewers who are not familiar with our programs, each of the programs that we're relaunching as well as creating. This is the second in our series, and it's called Artist Revue. As we said, we take liberties with spelling because of all of our, or most of our shows are under the production company R Revue, RREVUE, with the first letter R abbreviation for the name of the show. So here we're spelling it RTIST, Artist Revue. And if you'll notice, we have our little friend, the ant in the back, and he's got a colorful palette, which is the logo. Let me go ahead and show you that so I won't be blocking most of it. Show you at full screen. Just bear with me. There you go. So that's what the Artist Revue screen will look like. Now, as I mentioned, we're trying to get it properly reduced so it'll show up, or in tile format, show up on the background without being overwhelmed by my presence. So we'd like you to still see that. Now, for those that say, well, look, I see Ann up at in the upper right corner is what we call our brand logo. And that one is the original. Notice there's no coloring except for the red star. And it will always be there to indicate these are one of the shows under the R Revue production company. So you can always see the ant. But it won't be changing colors, nor will it entail a different object being held by the ant as here in the palette. Okay, let's come back to me, and what we're going to do is, well, let's do this. Let's if I do this, let me show you this. You probably don't like it. Well, this looks better if you like to see this ugly mug, but it also has this is an extension of the logo itself, the black background into MySpace. So we'll go to here, and I'll take the minor role and let which is the most important thing anyway, the Artist Revue logo take the major role. Okay, as we mentioned, for those who remember, this was the second show I started on our local New Orleans, Louisiana, where we're still emanating. I'm a native. But instead of being from a local cable company, we're now on the internet. Been on the internet on another station for a couple of years, and now we're doing our own thing. So we will be broadcasting from here, and this will be our logo. And we'll be bringing to you, even though we're in New Orleans, we're no longer limited by a cable company. We can go around the world, not only for you, the audience, but also for our guests. And the nature of these shows are, for the artists, is to bring live. All of our shows are an hour live, to bring the particular guest, and this situation would be an artist, and he or she would have sent to us, and we will be looking and discussing approximately no more than 15 to 20 pictures of their work. Now, whether it's painting, whether it's sculpture, anything that they can provide that we will discuss during the show. The artist and myself will go one by one through each picture, besides hearing his background, or her background, excuse me, I always forget that gender, his or her background. Then they each will give us an idea about their particular piece, whether there's a title to it, if there is, dimensions, specifics like that, media, anything, impression, anything they want to say about each piece. Now, for the most part, all of this art will be for sale. We're trying to work out the logistics. Right now, you can send on our system chat comments, whether you're watching us at, I should have said our destination is simultaneously live on Facebook under Bob Bockelman, and also under my YouTube channel, R Revue. So you can make comments on either one of those platforms that you prefer. And what you'll do is these will appear on public chat on my screen. And I'm hoping it does on your screen, of whether it's your phone, tablet, or PC. But we will also occasionally bring those comments one by one onto the major screen running at the bottom of the live stream. I'm going to go back to me again for a little bit. So this would be just like my name. It would cover up my name, any comment for the moment that we're going to be reading it. So each artist will be given the right to give details if there is a sale. Now, we're not geared yet for you to call up and go ahead and charge it on your credit card or something like that. If you want, you'll get information and speak to him or her after the show, either by text or whatever, and work out those details for the situation. And again, it'll be up to the artist. Some of the items will already be sold, so then obviously they'll just say they're not for sale. But it'll be up to the artist to give out his asking price. Nothing I do. We won't allow a lot of bickering, like I say in the chat comments back and forth. It's not a negotiable thing. But at the same time, once you speak with the artist privately, either on chat or thing, that's up to you. Negotiations are negotiations. So he or she will do whatever he or she wants, and you as well. Okay, we're hoping mainly, again, not necessarily, even though I know for the artist's sake, they don't mind taking in the revenue, so that would be great as well. But that is lagniappe to the program. When we're on the cable TV, we weren't allowed to do any of those type of situations. Just give out just produce the show, etc., and broadcast it. So that's our primary purpose is to get you all acquainted with different materials from these artists that are, especially today where art is so prevalent. It's always been, but I think always once again years ago, not you'd have to go seek it out. You'd have to go to a gallery or know an artist, etc. Here, this is what we're doing, and even though other platforms are available to them, Facebook and Instagram, and so many of the others, where they can post their paintings and sell them as well in an online shop. But we'd like to give it out as those. We let's like to give it as a service to the audience and an interest to the audience to take a look and see if they really enjoy the work that's being shown to them and see if they want to proceed any further to make an acquisition for themselves or a gift. Okay, that's the bulk. We're not going to make this too long. As we get further and further, we're going to be more efficient and won't be as long as the first PSA. The only other items, let's see if we make sure we've touched a little outline. Callers, like I say, if you do call and want to speak as opposed to chat, you'll have to find a way, and maybe I can learn this, how to turn off your mic or your video if you just want to be an audio caller as opposed to calling on the phone. We're not doing calls on the phone yet. We've got to master that, but that can come down the tube. So us old timers who like to speak on the phone, not just text, will be able to accomplish that and speak directly to the artist or whomever the guest might be. But for now, it's strictly done by chatting. The other last two items, let's see. Okay. We, as I mentioned at the previous PSA, we're in the process now of starting our schedule, our lineup, because we are a fledgling network. So we're filling it up right now with our live shows, recreating and redoing and reimagining the earlier shows that I did, as well as some of the new creations. And we're trying those out specifically at the evening time when most people watch because they might be preoccupied in the day. Even though since we're going to other countries, some of those countries, like India that watches us on our shows, is about 10 and a half hours ahead of us, or on the West Coast where they're 2 hours behind us. May or may not be convenient. But what we're going to do is we have to manually right now, but we will rebroadcast these a couple of times during the week until our schedule really gets too complicated to do it manually. And of course, the importance and the relevance of the internet, and especially YouTube, is that these shows will be available to you at any time. So if you just go to YouTube Rtist Revue, or even better, subscribe to my channel, and that way it'd be much easier for you to less typing and let you know when a show is coming up. Then you can see this very PSA or any of our shows, which would be more importantly, at any time you want. But we will try to rebroadcast them. If we do it as a day show, then we'll show it at night a few days later. So you can watch for that in the early stages. I think that's it. We do have our first Rtist Revue show scheduled. I'm not going to mention the time. This PSA will be over. Will be deja vu by that time. So just look for it now. Anytime, watch that channels and see if you get a notification for our first live broadcast of Artist Review. Thank you for watching. And as I like to say, stay tuned, an old adage, and we'll be bringing individually each of the other PSAs for the shows that we've already created or are about to launch. Take care. Should be music here, and that will be also be a later edition. Uh, there we go. Bye bye.